First off, look for a CRM that integrates with your calendar. That out of the gate should be your number one task, because the reality is you guys live off your calendar. I get that. You live out of your Outlook. Make sure your CRM integrates with those two. But that should be a must-have. And like a lot of them do integrate with Office 365 or Outlook, also G Suite. Those are kind of the two top players. Next, look for something that has some task automation, task follow-up. Now, it doesn't have to be an automated thing based on policy renewal, although a lot of them do have that. I would say just focus on a tool that has easy to create tasks, either it be from your Outlook, from your mobile phone, or from the desktop CRM. When you find that and you check that off, that's a huge win. Now think of it. You've got your calendar synced. You've got your contacts and emails synced. Hello. Welcome to another episode of Advisor Tech Trends. My name is Massimo, and it's got an exciting one today. It's a little worrying, but also exciting. So in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about the CRM fatigue and why advisors are switching again, and how there's a bit of a wave occurring of people switching CRM softwares. And obviously I'm in the CRM game, but I wanted to talk about that, what you guys should look for, why people have fatigue, and hopefully you get some value out of it. As always, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the episode. All right. Are you an advisor that's on your third CRM in 5 years? You're kind of getting tired of it. You're switching. You don't know why you're switching. You don't know why it's not taking off. Today, I'm going to talk about that. There's some things happening in the industry right now, specifically Canadian fintech or Canadian financial advisors, where it may not happen again, but it's worth noting. And as these switches happen and as advisors are moving from software A to software B, I think it's relevant to understand what you should look for in the hopes that you don't have to go to software C, right? My hope is that out of this episode, you understand some things and you don't have to switch again. So what am I talking about? There's been a couple things that have happened in the industry over the last 6 months, honestly. We could extend it out a year, but the last 6 months have been really telling. So number one, Workspace, which is Canada Life's tool that they gave to a number of their advisors, thousands of their advisors. It was basically a customized version of Salesforce, is being sunset. And there's a wave of advisors coming off of that or being told to come off of it. 500 plus a month are getting pushed off that tool. It was a cost save. I don't know all the ins and outs, but I would presume it was a cost saving initiative. From what I've heard, Canada Life is restructuring how they push insurance through certain channels. They're more a fan of the indirect channel through MGAs. And yeah, so they've told a number of advisors, hey, listen, this tool we've paid for you 4 years, you're no longer going to get. We'll help you get off. Go find a CRM of your choice. This is coupled with the MGAs, Hub, PPI, FH, all of them have their own internal tools, and obviously they're all under increased pressure to provide value to advisors. As things get more digitized and quicker, advisors are more and more saying, okay, what is your value? And MGAs have a ton of value. There's no question. It's just they're constantly having to evolve what they offer. And so part of what they're offering is free CRMs. And they have tools internally that kind of do tasks, kind of do follow-ups, kind of do a bit of everything, but advisors typically don't really like them. And maybe for 50-60% of the industry that's only doing a couple policies a month or a year, it works. It's just a database, right? But this is in parallel to what's happening with Canada Life. So Canada Life's pushing people off. The MGAs are pushing their tool that isn't really hitting the mark for a lot of people. It's a free tool. It doesn't do a lot. And then there's tools out there that have 100 plus features that no one ever really uses. And I use this anecdote a lot where I talked to an advisor the other day and they're like, I pay $200 a month for a CRM that I write notes in. And so this is what's happening. And this is the wave I'm talking about and why advisors are kind of feeling fatigue or sitting there saying, okay, well, I used to have a tool if you're a Canada Life guy. Now I don't. Okay, my MGA says they have a tool, but when I go look at it, it's not really that good and it doesn't do what I need it to do. And then when I actually find a tool, it's super complicated and has a ton of features. And so this is what I'm hearing in the industry. And you're not alone if you're feeling this way. I talk to a lot of people. So what do you actually want? What do you want to get out of this? This is the way I've been framing it to people and talking to people. And from what I hear from advisors, a lot of them just want simple. They want a simple contact and task management. They want to know who and what to do in their CRM. So on their homepage or on their contact page or in their task management view, it's got to be simple, user-friendly, big, bubbly, whatever verb or noun you want to use, it's got to be simple. They want fast note-taking. So when they're on a call with clients, they want to be able to take a note, create a reminder very quickly. And so some of these tools aren't good at that. They also want clear calendar sync. And not only clear, but instant, automated, and works. So when they book a meeting in the CRM, it goes into the calendar. When they book it in the calendar, it goes back into the CRM. That's kind of a must. They also want connection to insurance and investment data. Now, this is a big question mark, caveat, exclamation mark, asterisk. It's not really that easy. So I run a CRM company and it's very hard to do. You either go through these book of business feeds that are very clunky and outdated, or you kind of do elbows up, you scrape the web and use like web crawlers to grab the data. Here's the reality. The carriers aren't really at a point to easily give you your data. Some companies have gotten a bit scrappy and kind of able to get your data, but it's not perfect. You just have to understand that insurance data is not integrated. And once you get over that and understand the value of getting the data in your CRM and the stuff you can do with it, you'll move on and make a lot of money. And so I just want to say a lot of advisors want seamless integration. The reality is it's not here. It's not coming anytime soon. And so you just have to understand that when you're getting a CRM or shopping for a CRM, that it's not going to have seamless data. And look at the other features like automations and ease of use and calendar sync and some of those things I'm talking. And the other thing they want is just not a lot of clutter. Like they don't need a ton of features and apps and reports and AI generated this and that you're never going to use, right? So basically they're like, give me one screen, one client, and one set of action items. That's kind of what advisors are asking for. And so when you think about that and you're like, okay, Canada Life's pushing us off and the MGAs kind of have something. As you're shopping for something, there are tools out there, including the one we use or run, that have these things and they are separate and they typically have discounts and all kinds of fun stuff with the MGAs. But start simple. Simple task management, contact management, check. Note-taking, ease of use, check. Calendar sync, check. If you have those three things, you're going to have a CRM that gives you 95% of what you need and want, and you're going to get a ton of ROI out of it. So I talk to a lot of advisors that are just spinning and trying to get seamless data feeds and trying to get AI this and that. It's like, stop. Find a simple solution that has those three things. And if you do, you're going to be way ahead. And it'll reduce this fatigue. It's going to drastically reduce the chance of you leaving and going to system C in the future. It's something that may seem counterintuitive where you're not looking for the shiny object for the future. But the reality is these simple tools, as they get more users, they're building in more features and they're thinking of simplicity first. So my point is, like when I think of our tool, we focus on simple and will the client use it? If they do, we move on to the next thing. Is it simple? Will the client use it? And you're going to get more features that way. So how do you do this? Like I kind of say to advisors, because they go, okay, great. Like you want it simple and you want a calendar integration. And so how do you do this? So you can think of it as like the Advisor Stack Starter Pack or kit or something. First off, look for a CRM that integrates with your calendar. That out of the gate should be your number one task because the reality is you guys live off your calendar. I get that. You live out of your Outlook. Make sure your CRM integrates with those two. Once you've checked that box, you have a CRM, calendar integration. Just about all of the Canadian ones do integrate with calendar. Double check that they're two-way. Some of them do, some of them don't. But that should be a must-have. And like a lot of them do integrate with Office 365 or Outlook. Also G Suite. Those are kind of the two top players. Next, look for something that has some task automation, task follow-up. Now, it doesn't have to be an automated thing based on policy renewal, although a lot of them do have that. I would say just focus on a tool that has easy to create tasks, either it be from your Outlook, from your mobile phone, or from the desktop CRM. When you find that and you check that off, that's a huge win. Now think of it. You've got your calendar synced. You've got your contacts and emails synced. And now you can quickly create a task. When you think about what you need a CRM for, that's like 80% of it, right? Once you get those, now you can kind of start moving into more of the advanced feature set, document storage, e-signing capabilities, and automations. I would start there at the automation level. So you have the CRM and calendar integrated, task follow-ups integrated, or ease of use. Now, find a CRM that can do a policy renewal reminder, or a CRM that has maybe some fail-safe automations. If something's sitting there for 2 days, 5 days, whatever, it'll nudge you. Like, look for something with proactiveness. But again, this is kind of icing on the cake. Those first two of the starter pack is what you need. Now you can move to this. There's a lot of tools out there that have this, but this is where you start getting real ROI on your decision. But you should start with the other two, get comfortable. The other thing I like to say to people is to understand, and this is why people switch a lot. It's like, you need to understand this is an investment in you and your business. Those type of things, just like when you go to the gym, it's not going to happen instantly. The ROI on these type of investments is typically 3 months. So when you buy a CRM, you're not going to see a penny of return on your investment for 3 months. How that works? Okay, month 1, getting data in, getting set up. Month 2, starting to learn the nice features into the automations, task management. Month 3, you start turning on automations, start building reports and analytics. Now you're zooming out of your business. Don't expect this to happen overnight. And if you're coming into a CRM and you think it will happen overnight, that's probably why you're switching. It doesn't. They're a big lift. And a lot of these companies have support teams to help you with this. But if you go in understanding this is a journey, I'm here for a long time, give me 3 months to get used to this, it changes your mindset, it changes the implementation, and you're way more likely to stay with it. So to kind of wrap this up, there's a lot moving. If you're a Canada Life person, there's going to be a lot of change over the next little bit. You might have been on Workspace for 10 years, right? Break it down. Look for something with the calendar integration. Look for something with the task management. Don't overcomplicate it. Ask yourself, what do I actually need to run my business? Zoom out and kind of say, what do I need day to day to run my business? And don't overcomplicate that. Start slow. The reality is, in order to get value out of this tool, you have to use it. So don't overcomplicate it. And don't buy based on features. Buy based on how you think you'll use it every day, right? And so as you're looking at these tools, you can check a lot of them out. Just type in CRM for Financial Advisors Canada. There's a bunch of them out there. Use these when you're evaluating it. And you're going to find this so much easier than you think. If you treat it like a journey and you treat it like an investment, you're going to get a ton of value out of it. You're not going to switch to System C. As always, please like, comment, subscribe. I hope you got value out of this. I hope you have best of luck, or I'm giving you best of luck finding this. I'm a CRM guy. I love this stuff. I know an advisor is not. So hopefully there are a couple tidbits in here. And until next time, enjoy your day.